Hello everyone, it's Della DuLac. Today I want to share with you some samples that I did with the Stampin' Up! Memories and More pack, the Texture Chic. Super cute. These are really great for memory keeping that you can use, of course, with the album and the sleeves that go with that. But you can make really great cards with them too. They're fun for quick cards. You can sit and play with them, and there's a ton of pieces in there. There are 50 total cards, 2 of each. 18 double-sided designs in the 3x4 and 4x6 sizes. And like I mentioned, you can slide them into the little sleeves here so you can do some memory keeping with them, but they coordinate beautifully with the Texture Chic cards and envelopes. So if you got 2 packs of the cards and envelopes and 1 pack of the Memories and More cards, you can make over 40 cards. You get 20 in a pack. So you get 20 cards with envelopes, and they're 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So it will accommodate the largest 4x6 size from these cards. So you can get 2 of the cards and 1 of these and make a ton of cards, probably more than 40 cards. If you supplement a few extras, because there's so many pieces in here that you can mix and match and piece them together. This also coordinates with a stamp set and some more paper. So flip over here. Here's the stamp set that coordinates with it, and of course, like I said, you can do memory keeping with them, and you can make cards. So you can combine the stamp set and the DSP, the Designer Series paper, and get a whole suite of products that you can make all these fun cards with. Maybe a few little embellishments like some of the brushed dots and some ribbons, all kinds of great things. But for today, I just wanted to show you, even if you just got these 2 things, you didn't get the stamp set, if you used some of your stamp sets that you have on hand and kind of supplemented a few sentiments or flowers, you can get a lot of great cards just with this alone. Let me get out my cards and I will show you. Lost my card here. There we go. Okay, so here are some of my cards. This is actually, let's show you what comes in that pack first. Here. So here's the envelopes, or the cards with the envelopes. Again, like I said, they are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. The envelopes have a beautiful printed lining. It's mostly just kind of splotchy, but if you look real close, you can see that there are some flowers in here, but it could just be with the colors. But I love the outside with that beautiful gold foiling. Very fun, very elegant. And then here are the card bases. So you've got this splattered, colored, textured on the top, on the front, white on sides. But you know me, I like to add some stuff on the inside of my cards. And then here are half of the cards, because I've used them. So this is half of the designs for the 3x4. I'll quickly show you those, and then we'll look at them a little bit closer as I'm going through the cards, if I can get them apart here. So really quick, some great designs that you can use these directly on your cards. You can add a few sentiments, butterflies, flowers, anything you want really. There's a few shells in here, so if you have the shell embossing folder, that would be fun too. So there are the 3x4 cards. And then in the 4x6, you also get 4 sheets, 2 of each. Here we go. 2 of each, that's the same one. There we go. So you get 2 of each of these sheets that have are self-adhesive, so you can pull all these off and just stick them directly onto your card. There's some great little banner pieces that you can stamp your own sentiments on and then add those to your card. And here are the 4x6. This one I thought was great just as it is to make a card with that. I'll show you that in a second. And then some of these I have cut up to use either more as a focal point or cover up a sentiment that I didn't really like or didn't really work for our card that was more for the memory keeping. So here we go. Let me move some of these over because we don't need that pack. And then I want to refer to these as I'm going through the cards. So here, this one I wanted to put on directly onto my card. But since it is a 4x6, if I put it directly on top, which you totally can, you're not going to see very much of this beautiful textured colors. So for this one, I flipped the card inside out. So I did, instead of folding it this way, I folded it like this. So I could have a nice little white border. And then when you opened it up, you'll have some of this texture. And then I used another card on the inside so you could write. So there's some lines here. And this one here, I used this card. So this one here, I didn't really want, you could use that on a card if you wanted to, but I wanted to use this side. So I cut this in half and I put this here so there would be some lines for writing. Very cute. Just add a little bit of ribbon. I also added some Wink of Stella, but it's kind of hard to see on camera. Well, there's a little bit of sparkle. So very cute card. And then this one here, I did not want it to say loving this life of ours. You can totally keep that as a card and send it to your spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. That could work, but I didn't want that bottom one. So just taking a scrap piece of cardstock to cover up the sentiments that you don't want, and then I just took a single U, and I got that one from one of my paper pumpkin kits. So these are a great option too to pair up with some of your kits that you get. So you can use, I wanted just the U, but you can do a masking technique too. If you have a thank you stamp that you could mask and just use the U part of that here. So it would say loving you. And of course on the inside, I've got just a little scrap of another piece of card. So I would cut them up so you could have just a little bit on the inside. When you open it up, there's a little bit of color, and then you could do your writing. This is a really good way to use up some little piece scraps of ribbon. They're not really big enough to do any bows or anything with. So you have these pretty ends. Just tuck those up underneath one of your sentiments, and good way to use those. Now this one here, I used this card, but if you flip it over, there's some of those fun little flowers. I didn't want all of this negative space up here, so I trimmed off just a little bit of the top and bottom and then flipped those strips over and glued those down and popped up this. So you could send this to someone. Sending good vibes would be kind of a fun card to send someone. And I took this strip from this card here. I didn't think this would really be a very good card right here, right now. Why would you send someone that? So I just used the background paper for that one. So I cut a strip of that for to put on the front, and of course on the inside, a little strip of that color. Add some fun little bling, anything that you have on hand, some sequins or rhinestones. And then this one here, super quick and easy one. This one I didn't do a whole lot to this one. I took some espresso cardstock so I could mat that, just so, since this is very similar in color, it wouldn't stand out very well. So I thought I would just mat that and pop it up with some dimensionals. And there is a card and a couple of these little, there we are. Take a few of these leaves. So I got one on the front and then a couple on the inside. Super quick and easy. This one here, I took this one. I just again added it with some a matte for the black to really make that pop. And I like to do this layout quite a bit. Let me find that other card. There it is. So if you take a couple of your 3x4 cards, if you turn one this way, and I trim about a 1/2 inch off, so I can put that on the card on the inside, and then you've got that for the front. It's a good way to use up a few of these just kind of plain ones that you don't really want, like this one here, best day ever. Probably wouldn't send that to somebody, but just using the print on this side. And then I used that 1/2 inch strip on the inside of the card with one of those little stickers from over here. A little bit of ribbon. This one, covering up all my cards over here. Let's move all these. We've used for this one and this one. There we go. So this one here, I love that, but there's again so much of this space here. So I trimmed off the bottom and the top so I could have a little strip on the inside, and then another piece for this card over here. And then just added some punched flowers. A little bit of gold cord. You make me smile. That's a super cute one. I like that one a lot. And for this one, again, I used that little strip here and another sliver on the inside. Now for this one here, this one was like this. Nothing on here. You could stamp or do whatever you want. So for the card, for the love that was, if I can find that one. There it is. So here's the love. Again, I wanted it to say love you. So I took the Paper Pumpkin stamp set from May, actually, that had this beautiful font with the U. I liked that one a lot. Thought that would be fun to pair up with this love. A couple of little brushed brass butterflies. This is a nice layout to do too, and have just a strip of either a DSP in the background. You could do 1 or 2 inches, anything really, and then have that little strip on the inside of the card and your matting. Okay, moving on. So this one here is another piece of this. So that other strip that I had cut off. So what I think I had done is I cut it in half and then cut a 1/2 inch strip off so I could have 2 cards out of this one piece. So I put one on the front and one on the inside. And I used that card right there. Again, I didn't do much with this one really at all. I just added a couple of those strips and a little bit of gold cord, popped it up with some dimensionals. Very quick card. Super quick. This one, I did this piece here and the thank you from the little sticker sheet and a couple of the little leaves. Matted that so it would stand out a little bit, and took another piece of the background cards, that one right there, cut a 1/2 inch piece off of it to put on the inside of the card. You see a trend here, right? I do that a lot, but it's a great way to use up all of your little scraps. This one was a little bit more involved because I took quite a bit more off of the congratulations just so I'd have this. I took the little sticker sheet, little strip there to put under here. Grab some of my punched flowers and some fun little rhinestones to put in the center of those. This came off of another card scrap. Just threw all of those together on the top. I liked actually how that one turned out. Little strip from the same piece of the congratulation that was on the front to do that one. Again, I like this layout. You can use a couple of cards and kind of flip them around so you've got you still see that base card underneath, but you get a little bit more color too. And I pulled out some of my silhouette black butterflies, some ribbon. That one was super quick too. Here's where that piece came from. That was this card here. So again, there was just a lot of space. I wanted to square that off a little bit. And then I had these two pieces again for this card. On the inside, added some fun little bees. Those were long retired, but I have a whole bunch of these that I've already cut out. See the good in all things. I thought bees were appropriate because not many people like bees, but they're so important. Very cute. I loved those. This one here, I got quite the mess going on over here. This one here, I didn't like the sentiment that was on it. That's not really a card that I would send. Today's memories are tomorrow's moments. Well, I suppose you could send that, but I didn't want to. So I just stamped my own sentiment on some tags and just covered that right up. I add a little bit of cording and I popped that up with some dimensionals. Because these were such similar in color to the base card base, if you pop it up with dimensionals, you'll get some shadowing. It's a good way to do that too. And then just a little strip of extra cardstock on the inside. This one, we've got the little shells. This one I could have cut a little strip off of this one too, but I thought I would just add a little bit of ribbon. Another card, just a little thing. I wasn't going to use that on a card, so I used that for this layout. And then on the inside, I put this big piece since it matched to this one here. So you'd have, this one has a lot of layers. Again, I love these butterflies. I have a whole bunch of these in a little container, all ready to go and just add to whatever card I think needs a butterfly or just needs a little something. Butterflies are always fun to add. Your kindness amazes me. Very sweet. Again, with a little strip of color on the inside and a bow. This one was really fun. So the other parts, the other little pieces of the squared, there they are, little images. So there's a snowflake, a shell, a leaf, and a flower. So I used from the other sticker sheet, I had already used that snowflake. So this one I did the shell, the flower, and the leaf. And then a little scrapbooking type of technique for the square or the triangles under the edges. Again with this layout, using another card flipped the other way. I did trim this one down, used a piece of that on the inside, and then stamped my own sentiment on the little banners. Very cute. Now this one, again, if you want to pull out some of your flower stamp sets, that would be fun too. I picked some colors. If you look on in the catalog, if I come back to that page, it'll tell you what colors that they've used in that pack. So it helps you take the guesswork out of it. There it is. So it'll tell you what colors are in here. So there's Evening Evergreen, Mango Melody, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Soft Succulent, and Soft Suede. So that'll help you figure out what kind of card colors for bases or for your inks, so you can have a coordinating color to stamp in. So that's what I did with this one. And for the happy, in here, I took the stamp set. Where did I put it? Here it is. So the biggest wishes. So you've got the birthday here, and it has a happy, of course, but I wanted to use the sticker sheet from in there to make it a happy birthday. You can, again, like I said earlier with masking a U off of a thank you stamp, you can do the same thing with this. If you have a different happy birthday stamp, but you want to do this, you can mask off the other birthday to go with it. And if you just decided, you know what, I don't really want those cards, I really like the cards in the envelopes, you can just get a package of those to make some great cards. It's always nice to have a package of cards and envelopes all ready to go that have a little bit of color. Again, I pulled out some of my colors that it listed so I could get a different stamp set. This one here I'm using the Artistically Inked. Thought that would be a fun one to do with this, and just use some of those colors and stamp a flower on the inside. Very fun. I had a lot of fun making these cards. I did a ton of cards. I think I had like 17 cards here, so I almost used the whole pack, and I probably could have, or I will, of course. So I've used half of my small cards and half of my big cards, and I still have all of these left, so I can double up the cards that I've just done and just repeat. Great cards, so much fun. I hope you like my card samples today. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to give me a thumbs up and click that bell button so you don't miss a video. If there's any of the products that you saw here, you can go to my website down below. Feel free to go do some shopping. Let me know if you have any questions. If you don't already have a demonstrator, I'd be happy to help you out. Thanks so much. Have a great day.